Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I wanted to make a video uh, talking about fabric. There's a little more fabric that I got for my patchwork skirt. This will be more autumnal, and I went to Dollar Tree. I went to a different location because it was on my way back from my externship, and um, I saw that they had different fabric there. There was more plaid. I didn't get all of the patterns, but I got some that I thought would be um, suitable for the skirt. And there's the there's a plaid that is one of my favorite types of plaid. I have a finished pouch and other scrap fabric that I'll be using for um, the utensil pouches or cases. So, since I mentioned the Dollar Tree stuff first, I'll bring that up. So, these are more of the shades that I was going for. I do love the ones that I got. I would say these will be ones that I would really want in my skirt because I had a vision of a project that had a bunch of plaid patchwork. Um, so this is like the type of red plaid that I love. I love plaid in general, as I keep saying, and I did get another lighter one at the other store, and I'm definitely going to use that. I was kind of looking for like deeper tones, so I got two of these. They had a lot of this one, so maybe at some point I could stop by to get others at some point. Um, I also love burnt oranges. So there's this other fabric that was more vibrant that I got from the Dollar Tree as well, and I used most of it up. Um, it's more unique with the fabric that I have because I don't have as many vibrant ones, so it really pops. And I'll show that one um, in a little bit. Then there were some of this, there were some that were the green pattern, and I do love green, so it just reminds me of like flannel. So this will go into the project. I didn't mention that I went to the quilt shop, and there's like a sale section where you could get um, scraps that they have, and some of them are well, they're remnants, but some of them are on the larger side. But if you there's a smaller bag and then there's a larger bag, if you could fit it in the bag and close it, then you could include it in that bag. So the smaller one is $10, and it can fit a good amount. And then there's the $10 one, or that's the $10 one, sorry. And then the other one is $40, and it's a good amount larger. Um, this I didn't really see ones that I wanted to get this time, but I saw this, and this will be going in the skirt too. So I don't need as many what is it, patches as I had from my last skirt, because the last skirt I definitely wear a lot. It's one of my main skirts now. I had to um hem it. Well, I had to make it shorter because it was just dragging, and with using the cotton fabric, it just gets really dirty easily. So I took off like maybe 4 inches, and it's still pretty long, like it almost reaches the ground. But I wasn't gonna take it all apart. So I have the IKEA fabric, and I have a lot of it, so that'll be probably the main color of the skirt, because it'll be sporadically placed where they're not next to each other in the rows. And then I feel like that'll be the inside too, I think inner lining. Sorry if that's not the right term. Because that's what I did with my last skirt, and it made it like more voluminous, and it's fun. Um, I don't have like a serger or anything, and um, I kind of just left the edges the way that they were, so I decided to put an inner layer. So that's what I'll be doing with this one. The IKEA fabric is thinner, so I think that will be nice for a flowy skirt. Um, I got these a while ago from Hobby Lobby. It was in the sale section, so I was able to get 4 out of the sale section ones. And the fabric was like it was less than $4. And I have some left to do other things, but not to make the patches. So I was really excited about this one. As I keep saying, I love plaid, and hopefully I'm not saying it incorrectly. Like if I were to say tartan, maybe I should say tartan. Um, not sure, but uh, before I show the utensil stuff, I think I'm going to show the pouch, because I talked about one of the Dollar Tree fabrics that I bought previously. And it was a surprise because I didn't see this again. Um, I wasn't sure if they were gonna come out with another fabric like this, because I thought it would be like fall fabric, and then I saw it in a random spot in the store as if somebody placed it there. Like maybe they thought about getting it, but then they didn't get it, or maybe it was placed there for another reason. But never saw it again, but I used it a ton. So this has its own story, because um I had to switch my needle a couple times, because I didn't realize that I think my leather needle got um damaged, and it was making a weird sound, and with the sewing machine I was seeing if it was my sewing machine, because I would switch it to other needles and it was okay. But then when I got to that needle, um, like I don't need to always have my leather needle on there, but it was really helpful to get through a lot of stuff, a lot of fabric. And then I would adjust the tension and it helped a little bit, but it was still damaging the fabrics. And I did talk about it damaging the fabrics for some reason. Um, and then the quilting needle, it helped for some of the fabric, but as I got through more layers, and I don't know, I could get my walking foot. My Some might argue, but my um antique sewing machine, my other antique sewing machine, it does well with sewing a lot of things, and with it being maybe on the thicker side or more layers. Um, so that's why I didn't put it on there, but it was also pulling the fabric too, which is what happened with this one, because I was just trying to get through this pattern or get through this project. Um, but there was like the fabric pulling because of the needle. And then luckily I had extra needles that was included in the well, when I purchased the Brother sewing machine a while ago. I don't really use it that much. Um, but it's a modern machine. Like if I wanted it to use it for maybe the zigzag stitch, maybe I would. But the needles were compatible with my sewing machine, so it's been doing a lot better and it's a lot smoother now. And it's not making like weird sounds or anything. And I also kept switching it because I was like, well, this isn't a good sound to hear, so just well, obviously, it shouldn't have that sound, so I switched it. Um, Otherwise, I'm happy about the project. It is a lot larger than my other bags because I didn't check to see how big I was making the pieces. I think I made them an inch more instead of like an inch less than what I made the other large one. And I thought that this was on the larger side, but I could probably fit like, well, you can see that you could fit larger things in here, and I'm sure they'll find a use for it. This was the first one that I did. I didn't add any interfacing to it, but I still think it's nice. And that I didn't have a bluish shade, well, zipper shade, or I didn't have a zipper this shade of blue. So I used like the golden one, and this is like basically the rest of the blue bed sheet that I use for a lot of the insides for the bags, for the pouches. Um, because I two-toned it and I really like it like this. This is a fabric from Dollar Tree too. So I'm doing one more, and that'll be the floral one with the first aid symbol on it. I think that's gonna be really fun. And I was thinking about putting like um well, I have the fingerless gloves, and then I was also thinking about like putting tampons in there because I hear maybe like in war zones it might be hard for that type of uh to get those types of products. I'm not too sure completely, but in I have heard in some cases, so I was thinking maybe that would be nice to have. Um, that'll I'll start that project. And I'll also do the utensil bags. I did start a hat that I just started the ribbing on it. So um it's in my bag right now. So I chose yellow because this is the color that I have more of. And this yellow is from the drop stitches. This yellow is from the last hat that I did. I don't know if I showed it actually. So I didn't block it yet, but some adjustments just because I added more ribbing to this area, the brim. And I do love the way that it turned out. Fits nicely. Um, Now I'm gonna look out for how the pattern is written for the amount of stitches, and then if I need to adjust it, like with the yarn or in the needles, well, needles will adjust that, but with that the yarn. And um, I was thinking about making another one, but I decided to make a star hat instead. Might write a note for the other hat because you could still wear the hat. It's just on the larger side. So maybe I'll write that. Oh, and I got Uno cards. Surprisingly, these are hard to find these days, just like the OG ones. Um, and now they have, I don't know if they've always had the extra cards, but they have the extra cards in here. So, um, the blank ones. I'm trying to think of the other things. I did mend some things for my godbrother because I brought him to the airport. But he dropped off like some things that he wanted me to fix, and I left them downstairs. And I was gonna get them later because I was thinking I didn't think like um it would be a problem, but it was like what around 2 in the morning. My parents were just like, "Is someone here?" Um, because I just left his stuff downstairs. And I'm like, no, it's just that's not mean. But I was like, no, it's just his stuff because it was like his sneakers and his sweatpants. Um, it's funny because like he was saying tears, but I was reading it like tears. So I was like, I wasn't sure what was going on with that, but um, I understand now. And one of like with the sneakers, like there were holes like on the sides of them, or I forget what, but luckily I had leather needles to sew with because it was bending my other needle, which wasn't a problem, um, but it was not wanting to go through the fabric. And at least it was like a black sneaker because a couple of times I broke the thread by accident because I used at least polyester thread, but it was still breaking at times. Not too much, but just when I was like pulling it through, and I got I just got this one because it was like uh it was cheaper because there's less yardage, but I do like the Hobby Lobby thread. I don't know. It's people have different preferences for their thread. I like their thread. Um, the Romanian one, and so I feel like you get a lot of yardage, and it's cheaper to get it there. I just I got it for the pouch, but then he dropped off his black shoes, so that was helpful then. Okay, and now the pouches or the utensil cases. So I was thinking I have this leftover and I wanted to make like a pouch. This will be the front of it, the bottom. And I was thinking, do I want like Velcro or something? But I think I'm gonna put was it is it the strip or tab that goes across that you could tuck the fabric in? So that's what I'll be doing. I roughly listened to a video on how to do this, so I think my brain will make something that makes sense to me. It's not like the video didn't make sense. I think with sewing, I briefly look at or read or listen to directions. Maybe down the line I might um, do more specific pattern things. But I was also thinking with this one too, because I have a good amount of it. I have smaller pieces of interfacing that I thought would be great for this project because they're like on the smaller side. Because when I was making pouches and I was cutting up the interfacing, I had like strips left of it and they were accumulating. So I'll at least tackle some of my stash for the scraps. I still haven't done anything for like the really, really small ones, so I'm kind of thinking maybe I could just use it and make it into like a pillow or whatever. Um, stuff or like something stuffed. I have a little more of this one in their strips, so I was thinking to match it, put it with this one. Um, Not sure what the main color would be, but I guess I could make the green the main color. But I really love this one too. I love the other one. I just feel like it would be more of a contrast for me in this case. It just pops really well. I also have this one left over that I wanted to make too. So I think I could make like 3 of them in the next couple days because I'm trying to get them shipped by like early October by my birthday. Um, Hopefully, because I have the hat going and I have these, and that'll be what gets sent off. And I'm hoping, um, I might put the dog pouches separately because they bother me because I was like I was like experimenting with the tabs at the time when I first started making them. So I learned my lesson quickly of having that extra space. So when you're putting it right side out for the end result, um, it won't get stuck here. So I think that'll be it'll be nice. I think I might get a little more in the treats. I kind of want to get like jerky because I think people really like jerky. I've never had jerky before, and I do get hesitant about like adding food that I have never tried myself. Um, but I think it'll be a nice snack, like on the go. So that's something, and I did write other things down. I think I'm gonna get another nail cutter. So I keep talking about it, and the salon paws or the licking patches, and I think there's something else that I don't remember. I wrote it down, luckily. What a toothbrush. Because I'm trying to fill them. They are taking up space quickly. And then I also have like the knitted stuff too. So will be going in the bag. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.